I just wanted to do a quick Bonnet Chronicles update. I will be having a new session on Friday night. I really am seriously taking a social media break though because I'm frustrated. I am frustrated with people's apathy and attitudes. I'm sick of people with big platforms, especially those with journalistic leans, taking the time to blame everybody but us for what happened yesterday. And when I say us, I do not mean those who took the time to get out and vote, who continuously take the time despite voter restrictions and having legislation that pretty much fucks us over from being able to freely vote, who still gave us enough senators to try and at least get Trump convicted. The problem is there are way too many people who bank on political apathy, way too many people who don't care because they don't feel the direct impact of when people who don't really have our best interest in heart are in control. Even though we lost over 450,000 Americans to a virus that did not have to ravage us this way, even though it wasn't even a year ago, there was still legislation on the books to ban transgender military members and to ban Muslim members from safe travels and a lot of stuff that we are still undoing because of Trump and Mitch McConnell. They bank on political apathy because they make bank on political apathy. If they keep just enough people in the mindset of not focusing on state, local, national elections, they keep that chaos that keeps us from actually having progress. And what do they get? They get money to write think pieces about how nothing's going to change unless we do what they say. It's a sad cycle that I thought after 4 years of us being knee deep in fascism that we would get away from. But we're not there yet. And the reason we're not there yet is because we put too much in the hands of people who get paid to influence us certain ways. Whether it's what we buy or how we carry ourselves or how we think. And I want you to ask yourself, last year, when we were being raged by a pandemic, when we had so much fuckery going on, did you feel safe or stable at all? And if you could say no to that, but you follow up with the whole, well, I don't see how anything's going to change, that's the mindset that you have to change. We can reflect a government that sees to our needs, that keeps us from dying on such a unnecessary level, that doesn't see us shunned and persecuted for how we live our lives, whether we are LGBT, whether we are cis Americans, whether we celebrate a religion or we don't. This is a United States. We are supposed to be a melting pot of different cultures and ideas. And instead, we have divided up into weird little sects that if we don't like or think on the same level, we shun and fight with each other. And that is why we don't get anywhere. Or when we do get a small victory, where we can clean up some of the mess, we turn around and follow it up by not sustaining that victory, and then we go back into a bad cycle. I know that the impeachment trial was disappointing for some of you because so many of you expect civics to function like a TV show where we get what we want. But that is not how it works. If we wanted a successful impeachment trial, we should have had more legislators in our branches of Congress and the Senate to ensure that Trump paid for the damage he did. But unfortunately, we didn't have that because we're too busy turning our backs on the states we deem will never get it right instead of looking towards fueling resources to have their voters be able to upturn men like Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham and Susan Collins. But no, we rather stay in our little collective bubbles, pretending like everything should just happen because we want it to, instead of working on making it happen. And until that stops, we are going to continue a cycle of just getting things a little bit better, only to allow somebody else to pull us backwards and mess it up. I was taught as a child that what you do affects those around you. That is why I've always taken voters seriously. That's why I constantly push for people, no matter how sure you think something is, to take the time to ensure that it happens. I didn't sleep on the 2016 election. I knew in my heart that too many people were taking things for granted, and sadly, I was right. And we got lucky last year that enough of us realized that this was not sustainable and we had to vote. But what I'm afraid of and what I'm seeing already are a bunch of entitled people who think that we already got Biden Harris in there, we don't have to do anymore. And that is not how it works. If you are not personally invested, at least in getting your ballot in, you are detrimental to any progress that will impact positive change for people. And you will continue to be a force of the negative impact that harms marginalized communities and will bleed into the society that you claim to want to see progress for. All I'm asking people to do is wake up, realize what you can do to make things better, and stop putting all your hopes on the backs of others to carry you because we're tired. And we're tired of you asking us to save you.